Now, here's the one problem. And I think most people who are watching this are looking for a magic bullet. We do it this one time and problem solved. I never have to do it again. Tell me that's the way it works.
It's not.
Oh, darn. Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today we're going to have something quite different. A lot of us spend time in the desert, and a lot of us have our beloved fur kids, the kids we really love, and a lot of times more than we love ourselves, we love our dogs. And yet a big risk out here in the desert are rattlesnakes. And so we are here today with an expert who does training on rattlesnake avoidance. And Eileen, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
And tell everyone the name of your company.
My company is Confident Canines, and we do behavior consulting for dogs, training, we do rattlesnake avoidance, we do the whole gamut.
So you are going to help us today, and then we're actually going to do the training. But yours is a really different way of doing rattlesnake avoidance. Tell us the options on rattlesnake avoidance and how you do it.
Well, traditionally, dogs went through what we call rattlesnake aversion. I do avoidance, but traditionally it was rattlesnake aversion. And with that, dogs were put through something very painful, very traumatic, like typically shock collars. And the goal was that the dog would put their nose up to the snake, they'd smell it, and then experience this, terrible sensation. And because of that, they are hoping that the dog would fear the snake. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. Sometimes it does work, but sometimes when a dog goes into what we call a sympathetic nervous system response, which is a fight-flight response, they may choose to make sure that snake never comes around again, so they go and attack the
Right.
snake. We see this all the time, with lots of things that dogs are afraid of. If you've ever seen dogs lunging on leash towards other dogs because they've been attacked or had a negative experience with the dog, it's the same thing with rattlesnakes. But then sometimes too, they pair the leash or the owner's presence or something else with experiencing that shock. So there's a lot of risk with doing it. And so I liked, having another option. And so I came up with this course, the rattlesnake avoidance, where we teach the dogs to keep a wide berth away from the snake outside of that strike distance. And it's based on scent. So as soon as they smell the scent, they go and they turn away from the snake or go around the snake. We teach a number of different avoidance behaviors, and it's all done positively. It's fun for your dog. I love doing scent work with dogs, and so this was just another extension of that.
Yeah, it seems, and I know for me, I've been planning on doing this for a long time, and the idea of putting the shock collar on my dog and watching it being shocked, that was really hard. I was
Yeah.
struggling with that.
Yeah, a lot of people think that that's the only option. And so I've seen so many people put in a position where they want to protect their dogs, but they don't
Right.
know about another way. And so I'm really excited to get this course out there. And it's really had a great response so far. So far, my course has been copied over on 4 other continents because I've trained other trainers to offer this same course in Europe, South Africa, Australia, and throughout the US here. And so it's not just rattlesnakes that it can work for. It can work for any type of venomous snake. You just have to get the scent, like a shedded skin of whatever species it is that you want them to avoid.
And something else unique about what you're doing is folks don't actually have to physically come here and be with you. They
Right.
can do it online.
Yeah, I have an online course, so you can just kind of follow along and go through each of the steps. And it assumes that you don't really have much training with your dog. So it goes from the very basics and then progresses. And it's a 2-hour course. It'll take more than 2 hours to train your dog. It'll take a few weeks, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Some are faster, some are slower, but you just follow along. And it's designed to be accessible to anyone, anywhere.
Well, and part of what will make it work is getting the scents, getting the shed skins.
Yeah.
And you'll tell us how people can get those.
Yeah, you can get those on Etsy, believe it or not. You can find them on Etsy. You can find them sometimes on eBay. You can also contact your local herpetology society. You can Google that online because I had no idea where ours was either. But I went on there, called them up, and they were thrilled to help. And they'll send you shedded skins for very low cost because they typically send them to schools and other places for education purposes. And they will have the ones that are unique to your area.
So that means you can do it right where you are, wherever you are, as long as you follow these few simple steps. That's really handy, especially for us because we're always on the move. And surprisingly, you think of snakes as being desert. We do because we're in the
Mm-hmm.
desert, but they're all over the place, even up in the high country.
Right. Yeah, they're all over the place. People just often don't know they're there, but your dog does.
Right,
And so, snakes aren't thinking about who am I going to bite today. It's because dogs go over and they're curious and they smell them. They stick their nose under the, shrubs or underneath, like in leaves, and then surprise, there's a snake that we never would have known is there.
right.
And a dog will get bit on the paw or on their face. And so, this teaches dogs to act in a non threatening manner. They may come slightly close because they didn't smell them till then, but then they turn away before they're in an area to get, struck.
Right.
So,
So, and it's positive and it's
yes.
loving and you're using your dog's desire to please rather
Yes.
than fear of pain. And
Yes.
I think just as humans we know that makes more sense.
Mhm. Yeah, and most of the dogs that do this have a lot of fun because most of these dogs were designed to do scent work anyway with their original breeding purposes. Some of them were hunting dogs, and so they're like, "Wow, I get the opportunity to use my nose now, and I get to please you, and get to do all these fun things." It's a good activity.
Now, here's the one problem. And I think most people who are watching this are looking for a magic bullet. We do it this one time and problem solved. I never have to do it again. Tell me that's the way it works.
It's not.
Oh, darn.
And that's the allure of like this aversion training is people think you go for 5 minutes, your dog gets shocked, and then it's done. I have seen plenty of dogs now that have gotten bit afterwards, so that's not the case. But it is pretty easy. You just do 5 minutes a few times per week, and after a few weeks, your dog's probably going to be pretty good at this.
And if you need a refresher course, you can keep doing it yourself. You'll have the supplies.
Yes.
And I would assume then that you also offer refresher courses.
Yes, yes, I do. And I'm willing to work with anybody. We can connect over Zoom. You also have my, online course, but I work with people virtually anywhere.
Right.
So,
So this works extraordinarily well for us as nomads, and it's going to be really, really good for our dogs. Now, I might be catching you by surprise. Are you familiar with the rattlesnake vaccines?
yes.
So, can you tell us what you think about rattlesnake vaccines?
I used to give it to get it done for my oldest dog because I'd heard that it gives you a little bit more time
Right.
if you're bitten somewhere in the backcountry. I've met a number of vets who are more skeptical about it because I guess there can be some reactions to it. We never had that happen. We never had any reactions, but she had to get it every 6 months. I figure if something gives you an edge, then go for it. But we found difficulty finding veterinary clinics that offered it here in Las Vegas. It
Really?
used to be where more did, and then it seemed like less were. But I used to get it for my oldest dog, so I'm a proponent of that. Anything that gives you a little more time, because typically when your dog is getting bitten by a rattlesnake, you're out hiking somewhere, or you're
Right.
in some kind of nomad land, somewhere far away, and anything that will give you a little bit more time. I'm for that. It's not a substitute for veterinary care, for sure.
No.
But
They'll be sick afterwards,
yes.
even with the vaccine.
Yes, but if it can help like slow that down, which is what it says that it does, I'm all for that.
Yeah, it may save their life.
Yes.
Very good chance of that.
Yeah, and it doesn't work for all rattlesnakes. Like it doesn't work against the Mojave, which we have here in Las Vegas, but it does work for Western diamondbacks. I think it works for the Eastern diamondback, but I don't think it works for a certain other like venomous snakes. So some of them it does. It depends on how related they are to those other ones. So.
So I'm sure a lot of our audience is interested. I'm interested. I'm here doing it because I think this is really, really important. And I think if you have a dog, you should be doing this. Um, so tell us a little bit about your qualifications.
Okay, so I have a bachelor's and a master's, but most importantly, a certified dog behavior consultant with the International Association of Animal Behavior Consultants. There are less than 300 of us in the world. We go through extensive work, like with case studies of different behavior issues that we've worked on with dogs. We work with veterinary behaviorists and animal behaviorists, with PhDs and whatnot. So we're always trying to stay, at the top of our field with, what makes dogs do what they do, understanding their behavior and how we can, better their lives and the lives of pet parents. I'm also a certified professional dog trainer with the Certification Council for Professional Dog Trainers. So I've worked in the field for a number of years. Although previously I worked in intelligence for the government. I did that for a number of years, but then I just got so interested in this, this is like over a decade ago when my oldest dog had some behavior problems, and I worked with somebody who was a certified dog behavior consultant like I am now, and just saw how much could be changed if you understand the ethology of dogs, understand, why they do what they do, and understand how you can influence that, looking at the whole dog, not just the behavior, but their health as well. So that's how I ended up coming up with this course, because it really is a lot about scent, because that's how dogs explore their world. I can focus on the look of a rattlesnake, but that's not really how dogs explore their world. And I could focus on the rattle of a rattlesnake, but by that point, a snake is already, ready to strike because they're pretty freaked out. So we try to make things as non-threatening for the snake, as non-threatening for the dog, and we just go from there. I think it's all about understanding animal behavior, and so that's where my qualifications are.
Well, you're very lucky because you've taken your passion for the pets you love and combined it with a job and a cause. I mean, you're
Yeah.
very fortunate.
I am really fortunate. I'm so lucky to have like a husband who's really been supportive of me with all this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know not everybody has the opportunity. So
Okay, so I bet we've sold a lot of people out there. How do they get hold of you? What are the costs? Give us the details on their next step.
So the online course I tried to make it low cost and accessible to anyone. It's $55. You can view it as many times as you want. It's available on my website, http / www.confidentcaninesdogtraining.com. That's all spelled out, confident canines with a C, dogtraining.com. And you can find it there. And I also have in-person classes as well here in Las Vegas, and that's $185 for a 6-week session. But the online course, you get the same thing. You can view it from anywhere and as many times as you want, $55.
Right, and so if they get the shed skins, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll tell you how to do that at the in the description, then you can just do it over and over, watch the video over and over, do it over and over, and really be confident your dog is safe.
Exactly, because you get to see your dog actually performing the behaviors you want. So you know that they're going to do it, most likely, when you're not around, because you've watched them do it. So yeah, that really makes a difference to me. Makes me feel confident. If I put some shedded skin out that's hidden and I see my dog sniff the air and walk away, I feel pretty confident that, hey, if they're going to smell a snake somewhere else, they're going to do the same thing.
Really good,
Yeah.
really good. Well, thank you so much, Eileen. I'm really looking forward to going through the class myself and seeing you work with it. But if I weren't in the area, I'd be completely confident in your online courses too. So thank you.
Well, thanks so much for having me and giving me the opportunity to share this with everyone.
Well, when you do something you love, like you're doing, you love dogs and pets, and you're just very fortunate.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
So, folks, everything you need to know is in the description, and it's kind of a $55 one-time cost to watch the course, and you can reuse it for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good deal. You don't get a much better deal than that. So be sure and check out our website. Uh, Tell us your website again.
It's www.confidentcaninesdogtraining.com.
And give her a call. Go get the course, and I think you'll be very glad you did. Well, thank you so much, Eileen, because this is just a wonderful thing and perfect for nomads.
And thank you so much for having me. I really think this will help a lot of people who are away and can't go to an actual training class. So I hope that you'll join me, www.confidentcaninesdogtraining.com. Hope to see you in my course.
So there you have it, folks. You can, for a mere $55, you can get the course, take it over and over again. It's just really a good thing for you and your dog. It'll give you a lot more confidence. Now, Eileen and we're going to take our dogs and go through the course really quickly. Yeah, that we're not going to give you enough that this is all you need. You need to go and buy the course, and that's going to be well worth the money. You can take it over and over again. So be sure you go do that. And so stay tuned for that in the next video. So folks, if you got anything out of this video, and I'm sure you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks, Eileen.
Thank you, Bob.